Chainsaw Man, episode 2. So, in the last episode, our main character Denji becomes Chainsaw Man. Makima from the Public Safety Devil Hunters shows up and she offers Denji a choice to join her. And he accepts, and that's where this episode starts off. So, this episode starts off with Denji riding in a car with Makima, and they're basically going to be heading towards the Public Safety Devil Hunters headquarters. And we just get a little bit of a back and forth between Denji and Makima, where Denji admits that he's hungry. Well, his stomach starts growling, so he's hungry. So they're going to pull over and get some food. And Makima basically tells him to order whatever he wants. She gives him her jacket. So she's kind of playing up this nice girl act. And Denji, because he is socially stunted due to his upbringing, completely buys it and immediately falls in love with her. Especially later on when she buys him a bunch of meals. He passes out because he's too hungry. And then when he wakes up, we have this funny moment where he sees all the food that she bought for him in front of him. And he's about to eat it when she asks, do you need any help with that? And he's like, no, actually, yeah. So then she starts feeding him. And yeah, so Denji becomes completely smitten with Makima. And then we immediately cut to them walking through the city, and they're approaching the Devil Hunters headquarters. So they completely cut out a huge part of Chapter 2, where we see Denji get his first unofficial mission for the Devil Hunters. So in Chapter 2, while they're buying their food and stuff, they get a message that there's a devil nearby, and Denji is ordered to kill it. And so Denji goes and he discovers this kind of cute looking little creature playing with this little girl. And she basically sees Denji, realizes he's a devil hunter, and she kind of puts herself in front of the devil and tells Denji, please don't hurt him. He's the only one that protects me when my dad beats me. So it's like, oh man, that's like really heavy. And so Denji has a flashback to Pochka and him, having fun with Pochka and Pochka helping him out and stuff. And Denji tells the little girl, I know what it's like. I had a devil friend too. Get out of here. Run now. Basically, like, I'm ordered to kill the devil, and if I don't, I can get in trouble. But if you run away, I can say that, you and the devil were able to escape, and I couldn't track you down or something. And then all of a sudden, he's about to walk away when he hears he gets wrapped up, and he turns around and he sees that the devil has wrapped up around the little girl and is controlling her, and the devil is about to kill Denji and then the little girl. Like, the devil kind of taunts Denji, like, I can't believe you bought that. It's the muscle devil, by the way. Denji ends up killing the muscle devil, and he saves the girl, and then he walks out with the girl on his back. And yeah, Denji kind of gets his first little lesson here that Pochka might have been an exception to the whole devil situation. Basically, he kind of learns that you can't treat every single devil like Pochka, and that some devils out there will feign being good so that they can backstab you later. And this was completely cut out from the anime. The thing about this anime episode is that it crams. I actually went through the manga to see like how much it takes. So it crams chapters 2, 3, 4, and half of 5. Of course, they don't have everything within those 4 chapters. Yeah, they're basically shoving in 4 chapters worth of stuff into one episode. And I'm kind of hoping they don't do this for the rest of the series. Because the series has 12 episodes. 2 of them are out already. The manga has 97 chapters for part 1. So I'm like, are they going to try to cram 97 chapters worth of stuff into 12 episodes? That's a really terrible idea. What I'm hoping instead is that maybe you get through, I don't even want to say half, maybe get through like a third of part 1, and then have the next 12 episodes be another third of part 1, and then the next 12 episodes can be the rest of the third of part 1. So basically, you have multiple seasons that covers part 1 instead of having only one season cover all of it, because then we're going to have to cut out a lot of things and things are going to start getting pretty rushed. So I guess we'll see how that goes. But yeah, they completely cut out the whole muscle devil situation, which again, in the long terms, it doesn't affect the story really all that much, but it does kind of show Denji, like it kind of teaches him a lesson that he can't go around trusting every single devil he comes across. So I guess we'll see how they have him learn that lesson here. But eventually, they arrive at the Devil Hunters group. They ride up into an elevator, and Makima basically gives him a new uniform, and she kind of tells him, you have two choices. When I tell you to do something, you either say yes or you say wolf. I kind of like act like a dog in a sense. Otherwise, if you disobey, we're going to have to put you down. And she introduces his new partner. His name is Aki. He's going to play a huge part in this series. He's going to be one of the 3 main characters going forward. Aki has been devil hunting for a while now, so he's going to kind of be leading this next mission, and Denji has to shadow him. And during this moment, we have another situation where Makima kind of gets close to Denji. You know, she places her forehead against him. She helps him tie his tie. And Aki kind of notices this. And he basically, later on, while they're walking through the city, Denji's asking if Makima has a boyfriend and stuff. So Aki kind of gets the hint that Denji's only doing this to score with Makima, that he isn't really taking this job too seriously. So he leads Denji into an alleyway where he attacks Denji, punches him, kicks him, basically throws him into a pile of garbage. He smokes a cigarette, ends up throwing it on Denji and spitting on it to put it out. So he's pretty much just mistreating Denji like crazy. And he's doing this because his family was killed by devils. He's known people that have been killed by devils. And the whole point of devil hunting is to fight devils and to prevent that from happening to others. So he's like, I'm trying to be nice here. I'm trying to get you to take this seriously, but you don't want to. The only reason why you're doing this is because of Makima, right? And Denji says, yeah. And so he says, don't show up tomorrow, or otherwise I'm going to beat you up again. And he starts walking away. And Denji gets up, runs, and boots Aki right in the balls and just drops him to the floor. And I was like, yes. I love the fact that we have a main character who, well, I was going to say we have a main character who doesn't take crap from people, but he totally takes crap from Makima. So maybe I should rephrase that. He doesn't take crap from Aki. He doesn't take crap from other dudes. Like, Aki attacks him, belittles him, and Denji's like, nah, I ain't taking that. So he punts Aki in the balls, drops him to the floor, and then while Aki is trying to kind of get up, Denji just repeatedly starts kicking him in the nuts. He's just booting him over and over and over and over again in the nuts. And basically saying that today is the first day I ever got to eat udon. Today is the first day that anyone has ever treated me well. I am not going to give up on this. This is the kind of life that I want to live now. Where people are finally treating me like a human. I'm finally getting to eat good food. I'm finally getting to dress properly. And if I have to die to live this life, then so be it. I don't care. Denji kind of says, maybe Makima says that Denji is my type of guy. And this pisses off Aki even more. He's kind of basically jealous because he has a crush on Makima too. He gets up, he throws a couple punches at Denji. And once again, Denji kicks him in the balls. And Aki gets knocked out because his balls can only take so much punishment. And then we see Denji carrying Aki back into the police headquarters, the Devil Hunters headquarters, and saying that this guy's testicles was attacked by a nut devil. And Makima is like, do you guys think you can work together? And both of them say no. And she's like, well, I'm glad you guys are able to work together. Actually, she kind of just basically ignores them. I'm putting you on the team together. The team is going to be experimental. We're going to be using different methods. And she explains that Denji is a human, but he can transform into a devil, which is news that Aki had no idea about. And he assumed that, I thought those were just like baseless rumors that humans can become devils without being taken over and becoming a fiend. A fiend is basically a human that gets taken over by a devil. So Denji would be a fiend if Poshka had taken him over. But since Poshka didn't take him over and just instead gave him his heart and his powers, Denji is not a fiend. So yeah, Makima says that, they're going to be working together. Denji's going to be receiving special treatments. And the treatment is basically that if he tries to resign, he refuses any work, or he tries to run away, he will be disposed of as if he was a devil himself. We then cut to Denji's new living quarters, which is basically with Aki. He's going to be rooming with Aki. And we see Denji putting a bunch of different types of jams on his toast, butter, cinnamon. So he's finally getting to live out one of his dreams that he had in episode number 1, where he said he was going to finally be able to have jam on his toast. We see him taking a bath, and he's super excited that he can finally cleanse himself. So we just get kind of funny moments where he makes a mess when he makes meals. He is very loud and just throwing water everywhere when he takes a bath. He sleeps on the toilet and uses up all the toilet paper when he's done. And Aki is just kind of having to put up with all this mess. And the next day we get their very first mission together, where there is a fiend located inside this house and they have to dispose of them. And so they go up into the house and they find the fiend, and Aki tells them, all right, it's your job to dispose of him. Turn into your devil form and kill this guy. And instead, Denji just pulls out an axe and just slices the dude's head off and kills him. And Aki is kind of like, why didn't you transform? And Denji tells him, well, it kind of hurts when I do that. Also, it gets really messy. And I wanted to make this painless for the fiends. And Aki basically tells him that fiends are just like devils. And it's our job to hunt devils. So we should drop any kind of sympathy for them. And he tells Denji, my family was killed by a devil in front of my eyes. You see these police officers outside. They're risking their lives and to fight devils. Some of them might have lost loved ones as well. We can't be showing any sympathy towards devil. If you see a devil, then you just got to kill it. Everyone is taking this job seriously except for you. Stop trying to make friends with devils. Is that what you're trying to do? And Denji says, if I can make friends with the devil, then I will, because I don't have any friends myself. So then Aki leaves, and Denji, to himself, says, I didn't want the room to get messy because I didn't want any blood on these dirty magazines. And then he sees a bunch of porno magazines and titillating magazines, I should say. And Denji's kind of just going through them. And he basically explains that he has a new dream now. Now that he has a dream where he has, good shelter, he has good food every day, he has clothing, his new dream is boobs. He's going to reach out and he's going to grab boobs. His new goal is he wants to touch a woman's chest. So, which is kind of cool because mostly in shonen, it's to be the best. It's some kind of heartwarming dream. But Denji's is just, I just want to touch the breast of a woman. That's it. That's all I really want. So then we cut to the devil hunting office where Denji, Aki, and Makima are talking to each other. And Makima explains that you guys are going to be going on patrols and it's going to be a lot more dangerous. So we can't just have the two of you alone. You're going to be getting a new partner. And this new partner is actually going to be a fiend. And that's when the greatest character in this series ever, the best girl, Power, shows up. Power is freaking awesome. She's amazing. If you don't fall in love with her by the end of this episode, you will fall in love with her soon. She is just fantastic. But yeah, she kicks down the door, exclaims that her name is Power. Denji's kind of surprised, and he's about to refuse working with the fiends when he notices Power has a pretty good rack. And then he's like, all right, I'm totally on board with this. He's totally cool with being partners with Power. He's like, whatever, nice to meet you. Let's get along. And then we see the two of them doing a patrol route. Basically, Aki has sent Power and Denji away to try to track down any kind of devils. And along the way, they're not getting anything. And of course, the both of them are bored, especially Power. Power really wants to just attack something. Like, she's bloodthirsty, and she's bored out of her mind right now. And she kind of explains that the reason why there's no devils nearby is because of her. That before she became a fiend, she was a very powerful devil, and that other devils are probably sensing her and they're keeping away from her. And Denji believes that Aki did this on purpose, that Aki sent the two of them separate from him so that they would basically fail their mission, and that Denji will be disposed of and take him out of the picture of trying to hook up with Makima. But as they're doing their patrol, they come across someone reporting a devil, which is a cucumber devil, a sea cucumber devil. So here's the thing. Devils are created by fears that are manifested. So I guess there's enough people that have a fear of sea cucumbers that a devil was born from them. But anyways, this guy is trying to report this sea cucumber devil when Power just starts rushing across building rooftops, jumping from rooftop to rooftop. She leaps off, and as she's falling through the sky, she uses her powers, which is she can use her blood to form weapons. And so she uses her blood to form a giant mallet, which she then crashes down on top of the sea cucumber, smashing her mallet down and just splattering it into pieces. And then she just starts laughing maniacally and basically screaming like, witness me. Like, witness my power, in a sense. And that's how the episode ends, with Denji just kind of watching from the rooftops as Power cackles maniacally and just kind of wondering what the hell did he get himself into. And yeah, that's how the episode ends. So this is halfway through chapter 5. But yeah, I'll say it's a good episode. I think for trying to squeeze in 4 chapters worth of stuff, they did a pretty good job. It doesn't feel rushed. Like, that was my problem with the Evanescent Shadow episode number 2, is that it felt pretty rushed. This doesn't feel rushed, which is pretty surprising because, like I said, they're squeezing in 4 chapters worth of stuff. Well, 3.5 chapters worth of stuff because it's half of chapter 5. So yeah, for trying to squeeze in that much stuff into one episode, it doesn't feel rushed at all. Pacing is pretty good. I think they covered like the basic necessities from those chapters. Again, I kind of would have liked a little bit with the Muscle Devil, just because I feel like Denji could have learned a little bit of a lesson from that, in the sense that you can't go around trusting every single devil you come across, even if they look cutesy and are playing up being nice to humans. You still have to be a bit wary of them because they could be lying. But other than that, yeah, I thought it was good. There is a different ending for this as well, in the sense that there's a different anime ending, different visuals and stuff. So I wonder if they're going to be, like, the opening is the same as the previous episode, but the ending is different. So I'm wondering if every episode is going to get its own ending, which, if so, I got to give Mappa some credit for coming up with 12 different ending videos, promos, themes, whatever you want to call it. Animation's still good. Pacing is good. I mean, it's faithful to the manga series outside of chopping and trimming some stuff out. Power is introduced, which is awesome, because Power doesn't get introduced until chapter 4. So the fact that she gets introduced quicker than in the manga is awesome, because I freaking love Power. She's my favorite. Yeah, not much I can really say. It was awesome. I loved it. I think this is the best ongoing anime series at the moment, and it's doing a really good job of adapting the manga series. But there you go. Chainsaw Man, episode number 2. It was fantastic. I love this series so far. Hopefully it remains faithful to the manga series. And hopefully it doesn't cut through too much. Like I said, this one, we went through like 3.5 chapters. I'm hoping we're not constantly doing that because I feel like this is a series that I think each chapter worked. Like I didn't feel like there was any filler. It got to what it needed to get to. And I don't want to see it get cut because then it's going to be rushed. I think we should not be trying to tackle part 1 in this 12 episodes season. I think you should just maybe the first third, like I said earlier. You take 3 to 4 seasons to cover all of part 1. And that will also give time for part 2 to start pumping out more chapters and stuff like that. That way we don't get locked into filler episodes or anything like that. Yeah, I guess we'll see where it goes. But so far, the stuff that they have cut, it's okay. I mean, like I said, I would have liked to see the Muscle Devil scene, but it's not like we absolutely needed it. Having it out doesn't affect the overall story, so that's fine. But I guess we'll see where they go from here. Like if we start seeing a lot more stuff get cut out, and if we're going to start seeing important things getting cut out, I guess we'll see. But for now, it's good. It's fine. But there you go. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope to see you next time. Take care. Later.